Om Shanti. Today's Murli. Essence. Sweet children, Immortal Baba has come to give each of you a third eye of knowledge. You now know the three aspects of time and the three worlds. Question. On what basis does the spiritual father give you spirits the inheritance? Answer. On the basis of how you study. It is the children who study well and make efforts to renounce body consciousness and remain soul conscious that receive the father's inheritance. A worldly father only gives an inheritance to his sons, whereas the father from beyond this world has a relationship with spirits and he therefore gives the inheritance to the spirits. Song. No one is unique like the innocent Lord. Om Shanti. The spiritual children listen to the story of immortality from the spiritual father in order to go from this land of death to the land of immortality. The land of nirvana cannot be called the land of immortality. The land of immortality is where you don't experience untimely death. This is why it is called the land of immortality. The spiritual father, who is also called the Lord of immortality, would definitely tell you the story of immortality in the land of death in order to take you to the land of immortality. Three stories are very well known in Bharat. The story of immortality, the story of True Narayan, and the story of the third eye. No one on the path of devotion understands the meaning of the story of the third eye. No one except Immortal Baba, the ocean of knowledge, can give you a third eye of knowledge. They just tell false stories. You sweetest spiritual children now understand that each of you is now receiving a third eye of knowledge, with which you know the three aspects of time and the three worlds. You also know about the incorporeal world, the subtle reason and the beginning, the middle and the end of the corporeal world. This is why you children consider yourselves to be knowers of the three aspects of time. Apart from you sweetest children, no one in the world is a knower of the three aspects of time. No one knows the three aspects of time, that is the beginning, the middle of the world. Many know about the incorporeal, the subtle and the corporeal reasons, but no one knows the beginnings, the middle and the end of the three aspects of time. You sweetest spiritual children are now listening to the spiritual father. You have now become his children. Only once do your spiritual children meet the spiritual father. The father teaches you spirits because of being body conscious. Everyone else says, I'm studying this, I'm doing this. They become body conscious. Now, at the confluence age, the spiritual father comes and tells you spiritual children to study very well. Every child has a right to claim his or her inheritance from the father because all are spiritual children. In worldly relationships, only sons have the right to an inheritance. In terms of the relationship with the one from beyond this world, all the children, that is, all the spirits, receive the inheritance. He also tells you the story of the Lord of Immortality. It is said that he told the story of Parvati in caves on a mountain. That is wrong. You children now know what is true and what is false. Only the true Baba tells you what the truth is. The Father comes once and tells you the truth and makes you into the masters of the land of truth. You know that this land of falsehood is to be set on fire. Nothing of what you see now will remain. There is very little time left. Just as a worldly father would create a sacrificial fire, so this too is Shri Baba's sacrificial fire of knowledge. Some create a sacrificial fire of Rudra and other of the Gita. Some create a sacrificial fire of the Ramayana. This is the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Shiv Baba or Rudra. This is the final sacrificial fire. You know that you are now going to the land of immortality. The time that now remains is only a few more minutes. No human being knows this. They say that 40,000 years still remain before we go from the land of death to the land of immortality. The golden age is called the land of immortality. The Father is now personally sitting in front of you and telling you the story of immortality, the story of the third eye, and the story of true Narayan. You have seen everything that happens on the path of devotion. There is so much expansion on the path of devotion, just as there is a lot of expansion of a tree. So there is also a victory of the expansion of the ritual of the path of devotion. Sacrificial fires, fasting, disciplines, tapasya, chanting, etc. They do so much. There are many who are devotees just in this world. The number of people continues to grow. Other religions have come into existence since the time that you went onto the path of devotion. Each one has a connection with his own religion. The customs and systems of each one are separate. Bharat was the land of immortality. Bharat is now the land of death. You belonged to the original eternal deity religion, but because of becoming impure, you can no longer call yourselves deities. You have forgotten that you were deities. They would say that Christ established their religion in a practical way, and so the Christians have continued. It isn't that they belong to the European religion in the same way. You who resides in Hindustan or Bharat belong to the deity religion. However, you cannot call yourselves deities. You understand that you are degraded sinners, poverty, stricken, and vicious. When people on the path of devotion experience sorrow, they call out to the Father. Only you Brahmin children know that the Father to whom you were calling out is now telling you the story of immortality in order to give you your unlimited inheritance. You were going to become the masters of the land of immortality. The land of immortality is called heaven. You say that you are making effort to become a resident of heaven. When a person dies in the Iron Age, they say that he has become a resident of heaven. He didn't make any effort to go to heaven, did he? You are making effort to go to Vaikuntha, the land of immortality, who is inspiring you to make effort. Immortal Baba, who is also called the Lord of Immortality. The sacrificial fire is also called a study place, in bracket Pathshala. No other study place could be called a sacrificial fire. Separate sacrificial fires are created at which Brahmin persist, sit and recite mantras. The father says, there are two together here, your college and also a sacrificial fire. You know that the flames of destruction will emerge from the sacrificial fire of knowledge. The whole world is to be sacrificed into it. Then the new world will be created. That is called the Great Mahabharat War. There is no other war like that one. It is said that they fought with missiles. The war is not with you. Why it is called the Mahabharat War? There is only one religion in Bharat. That takes place outside. There is no question of a war here. The Father explains a new world is needed for you. Therefore, all of these innumerable religions are to be destroyed for you. You children have all the knowledge of the variety, form, image in your intellects. You also understand that those who came here to become deities in the previous cycle will come again. This is a matter for the intellect. All of us who have become Brahmins will then become deities. Prajapita Brahma has also been remembered. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, creates the human world through Brahma. This is why Brahma is called the Father of humanity. However, no one knows how or when he creates it. Would there be no human beings in the beginning that he has to create them? People call out, "O purifier, come." It is when people become impure that the Father comes. The world has to change. The Father is making you worthy for the new world. All of you are in the Tamu Pradhan old world and you now have to become Sato Pradhan. The Father has explained that every human being and everything else has to go through the stages of Sato, Rajo and Tamo. The world definitely becomes old from new. You wear new clothes and then they also become old. You have received knowledge. You are now listening to the story of True Narayan. The Gita is the jewel of all scriptures. All the rest are its children, just as there are the offspring of Brahma. So the Gita is the main one. The highest on the high is the mother and father. The rest are children. You can now receive the inheritance from the mother and father. No matter how many scriptures others study of or whatever they do, they cannot receive this inheritance. Those who read the scriptures just earn a lot of income. That is all for a temporary period. You children listen to this here. Therefore, just consider how much income you are earning for 21 words. Just think about it. There one person relates something and everyone gives him money. Here, The Father speaks to you children and you become so wealthy for 21 births. There, it is the pocket of the one who speaks that becomes full. To perform devotion, etc., is the work of those on the family path. You are those who belong to the family path. You know that you were worthy of worship in the world of heaven. How else could there be the circulation of 84 births? This is spiritual knowledge which can only be received from the Supreme Spirit, the ocean of knowledge. The purified Father is the bestower of the salvation for all. He is telling all of us children the story of immortality. You have been listening to false stories for birth after birth. You now become 16 celestial degrees full by listening to the true story. The moon is said to be 16 celestial degrees full. This is not said of the sun. You souls understand that you will become full of all virtues, 16 celestial degrees full in the future. Then, after half the cycle, you will have alloy mixed into you. You now understand that you are once again becoming full of all virtues, 16 celestial degree full deities once again. We souls will first go home and then come down and adopt bodies and become deities and then go into the moon dynasty. There has to be the account of 84 births. He has now told you the true story of 84 births and how many births you have taken in each age. You children are told that the people of Bharat take 84 births. Firstly, since you speak of Mama and Baba, you have to understand that you are Brahmins. You claim your inheritance from Shiv Baba to Brahma Baba. Brahma also belongs to him. The inheritance cannot be received from Brahma. The inheritance cannot be received from Brahma. He is your brother. He is a bodily being. All of you children claim the inheritance from that one, not from his one, not from this one, in bracket Brahma. You must not remember the one from whom you do not receive the inheritance. Remember Shiv Baba alone. It is to him that you say, you are the mother and father and we are your children. When you are coming here to him, it remains in your intellects that you are going to Shiv Baba. It is Shiv Baba you have to remember. You souls are points and parts of 84 births are recorded in you souls. Each soul resides in the center of forehead. It flies in a second. I, the soul, shed a body and take another. I go and sit in the center of a forehead. Your intellect have the understanding of what you souls are like. There is no desire to see any such things in the golden age. A soul can only be seen with divine vision. It is not something that can be seen with these eyes. It is only on the path of devotion that they have visions. For example, Vivekananda, the disciple of Ramakrishna, told how he was sitting in front of Ramakrishna and how that one's soul left the body and entered him. Nothing like that happens. How a soul leaves a body and enters another body has all been explained to you. You now know that you are making effort to go to the land of immortality. We will take birth in the land of immortality. We will each be in a palace of home there. You cry out in distress. Here, you cry out in distress a lot while in the jail of Baba is now liberating you from all sorrow for half the cycle. Therefore, such a father should be remembered with so much love. Acha? To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence. First, consider yourself to be a soul, study with the spiritual father and claim your full inheritance. In order to become a master of the land of truth, listen to the true story and relate it to others. Second, only remember that one Father from whom you are to receive the unlimited inheritance and not any bodily beings. This old world is to be set on fire. Therefore, see it, but don't see it. Blessing. May you become free from all bondages and with the method of being constantly Man Mana Bhav, experience the stage of sweetness of the mind and give others the same experience. Detail. The children who break their bondages of iron chains and shuttle strings and have a stage that is free from bondage become free from any sweetness of physical things of the iron age and attachments of their minds. No body consciousness or anything of the old world of bodies can attract them even slightly. When there is no attraction to the sweetness of the physical senses, that is, when there is no attraction to temporary sweetness, you will then experience alaukic, super sensuous joy and sweetness of the mind. For this, you need to have the stage of Man Mana Bhav constantly. Slogan. Real service is done when you experience blessings as well as happiness from everyone. Om Shanti.